So I got a 14 win streak in the Open Ultra League in GBL. Now this comes as a surprise to me because I really wasn't planning on playing much Ultra League during this leg of Season 8 of GBL, just because the whole XL situation really has me turned off, and I wanted to use this time to study up and double down on the Element Cup, which is coming up soon there. If you do want some hot Element Cup information, by the way, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. I got several Element Cup videos on the back burner, ready to rock and roll when the Element Cup drops, so if you want to know more about that, make sure to subscribe. At any rate, what brought me to this team? Why am I playing Ultra League all of a sudden? Well, in the GamePress server, NoLucksGiven recommended this team, said that he was getting a lot of wins with it, and I saw it and I was like, hey, I got those things. I may as well try this out. And I've been winning ever since. So far, I've only gone 2-3 one time with this team. Mind you, I've only done like 20 sets, but still, only one time. So this team's working out pretty well for me here. Also, if you want to check out NoLucksGiven, he does have his own YouTube channel, link in the description to that. He hasn't done Pokemon Go stuff in a long time. He's mostly doing like Dominion videos now. So if you're interested in Dominion or you want to get learned up on that, subscribe to him. He's almost to 1,000 subs, so just give him a little bump from the swag man there. So how does this team function here? Well, it's a basic AB pivot type team. You've got Escavalier as a Registeel Cresselia hard counter, but it doesn't do so hot against the Giratina. And you got Lapras here, who just kind of destroys Giratina, but doesn't handle Registeel or Cresselia all that well. And then in between them, you got Gyarados as your safe swap pivot type Pokemon, hopefully taking that swap advantage so you can line these two Pokemon up with their respective good battles there. Gyarados for the most part is kind of the de facto ultimate safe swap for the Open Ultra League, especially with that Aqua Tail Legacy move there from its community day. So really good. As long as you don't run into electric type Pokemon, this team is pretty simple and functional for the Open Ultra League. That said, any electric type kind of completely wrecks this team. Fortunately, most of the electric types are in Ultra Premier, not in Open Ultra, because a lot of electric types really can't handle Giratina at all. Before we get into the battles, let's talk about the IVs and Movesets here. So first up, we got Virion, Escavalier. I nicknamed it Virion after the Tokyo Mirage Sessions iteration of Virion from the Fire Emblem franchise. At any rate, we're using Drill Run and Mega Horn. Drill Run to have that good neutral damage against most things in the meta there. Also helping out against the Registeel, of course. And then we got Mega Horn to bring the Doom to the Cresselia and having a bigger neutral hit on stuff that, doesn't resist it. As far as Acid Spray goes, Acid Spray did get a buff recently, and I think that could work out maybe over Mega Horn, but we would lack a hard counter to the Cresselia then, so I don't necessarily recommend it, but you could give it a shot. It probably would work out, and if you don't run into any Cresselias, it's going to work out even better. So what's going on with the IVs here? Well, we got the 4-11-10, which is the rank 334. And there's no big brain breakpoints going on with that one. It's just the best Escavalier that I built at the time, like almost a year ago now, and I haven't really gotten much of a better one since. For the most part, you do want the rank 1-ish Escavalier. I do remember that it does benefit slightly from a slight attack weight. I didn't write down what that matchup was, but I do remember when I was looking at the Ultra League like a year ago, I was like, ah yes, a slight attack weight, and then the remainder of that memory is lost to me. So if you know what breakpoints this thing does get, comment below and remind me what the slight attack weight is for. This guy definitely gets it, but you don't want as much attack as I got on my Virion here. Then we have Gyarados as a safe swap. Gyarados has the Dragon Breath, Legacy Aqua Tail, Crunch moveset there, and I got the rank 15. Yeah, pretty good rank. I think I do have like the rank 6 or the rank 8, but at the time I chose to build the rank 15 because it hits that 140 plus defense stat, which helps out against attack weighted Snorlaxes specifically. Basically in the Open Ultra League, there's some incentive to have an attack weighted Snorlax, so you can just kind of mulch down the Swamperts and then flip the script on the Gyarados safe swap. Well, my Gyarados safe swap flips that script right back at him by having the 140 plus defense stat. Overall, you do want your Gyarados to be super snob on the IVs. Like, you can cheat with Escavalier and Lapras, but you do want to have, like, the super bulky Gyarados there, because as the pivot Pokemon for an AB pivot team, if your pivot loses the swap, then things are going to go pretty rough for you. And then finally, we have Lapras here. Lapras is the double legacy Ice Shard Ice Beam Lapras with the Surf. You could get away with using Skull Bash instead of Ice Beam, possibly, but I do like having that Ice Beam to just let Giratina know that there is no hope against this Lapras. If you don't carry Ice Beam, then there is the potential for a Giratina to chonk you down in the end game, which isn't exactly ideal. So the Ice Beam definitely, I feel like the Ice Beam needs to happen on this team, just so you got the final word there. But if you do have Skull Bash, it can help out against opposing Water-type Pokemon, so there are, I guess, some trade-offs. When it comes to the IVs, I think mine's like the 13, 13, 12, which is like the rank 2,300 something. The rank bad. There's nothing specific going on with the IVs here at all. I mean, if there are attack breakpoints, I'm probably definitely hitting them, but you really do want to have the bulkiest Lapras you can for the Open Ultra League. That's generally the best idea there. But this one is double legacy. I got it in a lucky trade. It was easy to build. I don't really have better double legacy candidates, so it's the one I'm using. And apparently I'm winning, so it doesn't matter too much. The one thing that really does matter is the Gyarados. And then when it comes to the nickname on this Pokemon, 350. Like, do I have to explain that reference to you? It's the goddamn Loch Ness Monster, right? At any rate, with that out of the way, let's get into the battles here. I don't have all 14 battles for you. I hand-selected a handful of them to showcase to you, but I do have that dirty 15th battle that knocked me off my win streak there, so I do have that featured. So I hope you guys enjoy. And if you enjoy this type of video, you want to see more like it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also like the video. Thank you very much. So we have my first opponent here, the Cresselia. I don't know how to say that name. Leading in with Giratina. So straight meta here, beats my Pokemon. So I swap to the Gyarados, the de facto safe swap Pokemon for this team. And they bring in Registeel. Registeel is a pretty good matchup for Gyarados because we do resist both of its attacks, but Gyarados, you know, is only hitting for neutral with the weak Aqua Tail, and the Dragon Breaths are resisted, so that's not very good. And even though I do have a super bulky Gyarados, man, that Flash Cannon really does hurt. So we can flip this matchup. The main way you flip it is by them not shielding the Aqua Tails. And then when you're at this point and they hadn't shielded any Aqua Tails, as long as you use a shield, you're probably going to come out right against the Registeel. So Gyarados can be a pretty unsuspecting safe swap Pokemon, taking out a lot of things that don't really respect it and the light damage that it does until it's a little bit too late for them. So Gyarados safe swap, does it work? Absolutely. And now I'm up to a crunch, so I can throw that at Giratina right away, do mass damage, or get a shield from it. Either way, works out for me. They get the shield there. And do I shield this attack? Of course I don't. It's Dragon Claw. Gyarados is kind of spent. No point swapping in now. I have swap advantage. I'm lined up against Giratina. It's kind of a done deal. Now they do have the Talonflame in the back, which can be a little bit deadly here for me because my Virion doesn't handle Giratina or Talonflame very well. So 2 counters to my Escavalier in the back there, not feeling very tall. But Lapras does have the bulk and does have the speed to the Surfs to kind of take it on here. That said, if this thing does get a Brave Bird off on me, I do have the potential to lose. So here I try to catch the charge attack with my Escavalier, because Escavalier isn't going to do anything against this team anyways. Good on me, I caught it, and now Lapras can just fast move it down and have that big Ice Beam ready for the Giratina. And I think here you can kind of see how this Giratina could flip this matchup on me had I not had the Ice Beam. If I didn't have Ice Beam, this would definitely be a lot rougher of a situation for me. I could maybe pull it out in the end game with the drill runs on my Escavalier, but it would be a very, very tight match compared to a done deal like it is there with the Ice Beam. Battle starting. Yeah, for this particular cut, I didn't make the battles go very quickly so I could give myself some time, but I feel like I gave myself a little bit too much time here. At any rate, mirror lead. Escavalier versus Escavalier. Who has the stuff? Now, I do have the CMP because I got the bad IVs, but if I could catch the drill run with my Gyarados as the safe swap Pokemon, that would be even better. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the safe swap, and he got a little bit extra fast move action in there, which means even though I do have CMP with my Escavalier, their Escavalier is ahead on energy and is probably going to be even shields or ahead on shields, so that's not a very good situation for me. Fortunately, Gyarados is putting in some pretty good work against this Armored Mewtwo here. I don't know the Armored Mewtwo matchup all that well. I don't really know what it carries these days. It used to carry Dynamic Punch and Rock Slide. It looks like it's spamming the Psy Strike there a lot. At any rate, I figured I wasn't going to be winning that fight, so I let my Gyarados go there after taking shield advantage. I get some extra fast move action in because the confusion damage really doesn't do a whole lot to my steel type Pokemon, and then I just clean it out with the Mega Horn. Now, my opponent was ahead before on energy. I kind of got a little bit of extra fast move action in there, but ultimately it doesn't matter. I have the shield advantage. There's no way they're going to reach their next drill run in time. I'm taking them out with my drill run. And that's why if you get a mirror lead like this, you know, what do they got in the back now? They got Muck, Shiny Muck. Man, poor thing. It's about to get drill runned. And there you have it. I don't know if there's any possible way for my opponent to pull out of this now. I got a whole ass Lapras in the back, full HP, ready to rumble. They're in the red. Maybe they're hoping I had something that was like super weak to like poison or dark, like maybe a fairy type Pokemon could have gotten one shot. I don't know. Anyway, they stuck it out to the very end there. Lapras Monster came out there and took him out. Lapras Monster. I think I just merged Loch Ness Monster and Lapras together there. My bad. Now we're going into the third battle. My third opponent. What could they be bringing in this battle? Will I know to cut this shorter in the future? Hopefully. At any rate, they're bringing in Politoed. Now Politoed is a pretty nasty Pokemon to deal with. I believe I can take it in the 2-shield situation, but then that basically ruins my whole Escavalier for anything else in the back. So I just swapped the Gyarados right away. I could have tried to swap the Gyarados to catch a Weather Ball, but the danger with that is some Politoeds like to charge up to like double Weather Ball, and if I don't catch the Weather Ball on my Gyarados, then they could be that much closer to a potential Blizzard if they have it. I don't know if they have it or not, which means they've got even more pressure on my Gyarados. So ultimately, that's something I just want to avoid completely by just swapping immediately to the Gyarados. They bring in Abomasnow. Abomasnow is a Pokemon that Gyarados really can't overcome all that well, so I let Gyarados go after getting that shield advantage there, get some good farm action in with my Virion, and they bring in frickin' Talonflame. Now, my opponent is staying in this fight for some reason. I don't know why they don't bring in Politoed right away because, I mean, I guess if it's not an Earthquake Politoed, then they could potentially lose if I got the Skull Bash. They don't know what my moveset is. But they're keeping their Escavalier hard counter in against my Lapras, which I don't think is a good move. And now I'm up 2 shields. Obviously, this Flame Charge would maybe take me out, hurt me a lot. So I do shield it up. But I don't think this is the best maneuver my opponent could make here. I don't believe they're swap locked either. So yeah, they do pull out their Talonflame there, realizing that it's in danger of losing, and Talonflame does hard counter Escavaliers. So what are they doing? They woke up, and I bring back in my Escavalier there, and I hit them with the Big Daddy Mega Horn right away, dishing out some heavy damage. Now, Weather Balls, I think I can take it, and I'm assuming that they don't have Earthquake because they didn't bring it against Lapras right away, but they did have Earthquake, they really did. So I'm just kind of confused what my opponent's game plan here was with all that, why they didn't bring in Politoed right away. I mean, I guess lessons learned for them, but I am at double Surf. This Surf will take out Politoed, the next Surf will take out Talonflame, so case is kind of closed here. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention in this matchup well, now that I'm like reviewing it, scrutinizing it. Maybe they were swap locked yet? I don't think they were, so I don't know. Rough deal, tough cookies for my opponent, but I took that fight. If you're wondering how SwagTips got a 14 win streak, we're up against this kind of caliber of opponent there. Oh, and that's my first 5-0 here in this stream of videos. I did have a 5-0 earlier on, unrecorded, which inspired me to just keep playing with this team. Get a 5-0 recorded. Battle starting against the Zoleta. And we got Talonflame. Talonflame leads, that's not great for my team, because if they are able to get the swap advantage in, then it's pretty much game over for me because Talonflame is most assured to be lined up against the Escavalier there, which obviously isn't great. Fortunately, they swapped to Registeel. Registeel is a fight that we can overcome, as you saw with the first battle there, but this fight does end up getting a little bit more tight than that one. So I am throwing the Aqua Tails. Aqua Tails dealing not a whole lot of damage, so of course this Registeel is feeling confident there and not shielding it. But as you can tell, that can cause them a big loss in the end game there. I decided to tank this Flash Cannon, and at that point I'm getting a little nervous. Like maybe I shouldn't have body tanked it because I'm getting in the red there, and if they start shielding up my Aqua Tails, then I'm going to be in some deep trouble. Fortunately they don't. And then as a really interesting move here, they decided to swap to Meganium instead of just taking it on the chin there with the loss. So I don't know if my opponent realized like how important that swap advantage was when they didn't shield the Registeel there, if they could possibly get the win or not, but they chose to swap to the Meganium. Meganium's a pretty good Pokemon in the Ultra League. You don't see it a whole lot because of the high investment, but I guess now people use XL Pokemon, so why not use a level 40 Pokemon? And then yeah, here we're also getting photobombed by my girlfriend. She was volunteering at like a cat shelter, and she wanted to show me the Mocha Mau Mau. If you too want to see the Mocha Mau Mau, stay till the end of the video and I'll show you the Mocha Mau Mau. So now their Talonflame is lined up against the goddamn Loch Ness Monster. It was their choice, I guess, because they did have the potential to take down my Gyarados with their Registeel, and then they would have been locked in with the Talonflame against the Escavalier there. And then their Meganium would have been lined up against my Lapras. So I guess it just goes to show that if you do win the lead really, really hard, it might be in your best interest to try to make sure you win that swap there, which is kind of the whole reason why I'm using Gyarados to begin with, because it's really good as a safe swap, helping my AB Pokemon line up their matchups. Lessons learned. Hopefully my opponent learned from that particular fight. And now we're rolling in to battle number 5 of my featured battles here. Finding the opponent. Could my opponent be you? Let's find out. Today on SwagTips, it's Apex Fire Sauce. Holy shoot. Bringing the spice. Now it looks like he's bringing the shiny Gyarados. Now I don't really have a whole lot to swap into this Gyarados. Lapras does have a better matchup, but I don't want to get my Lapras swap blocked into a bad matchup. So even though they will have the advantage in the charge moves there, I decided to just bring in my Gyarados. And then of course, you know, I was just saying how Lapras is really good against Gyarados. What do they swap to? But their own Lapras, looking like it's 6 feet tall from the goddamn Pelazonic era, won that 350 from my Gyarados. So I'm whipping out the crunches, hoping to get shields, hoping to dish out as much damage as I can. I don't think I'm going to get the swap advantage here, like no way, no way. So I'm not spending any more shields on this particular fight. I almost reached the Aqua Tail for a little bit more baby damage. That could help me avoid an extra surf here. Maybe it wouldn't, but I didn't reach it. So they hit me with a surf. I can tank that one. And then here it is. The Aqua Tail really could have helped out because they reached the second surf. And now I'm in the red, which isn't great. My Gyarados is dead. They bring in their Gyarados, and then I bring in my Lapras, being clearly a very good counter to the Gyarados here. I think at this point, I'm shielding it up. I don't know what they have in the end game, but I know that the crunch will hurt me quite a bit, so I'm trying to maintain whatever advantage I can at this point. I load up to the double surf there. Usually with Laprases, it's a pretty good idea to load up to double surf just so you got that extra energy, as long as you're not tanking another charge move there. That way you can get a shield and still have energy to burn them down. So that's like, I don't know, I guess a light rule of thumb when it comes to Lapras. And we don't even see their third Pokemon. It was probably Giratina. You wanna know why? Because Lapras is the Giratina hard counter. So yeah, and that was yet another 5-0 in this big ol' win streak here. Now am I showing you battle number 15? No, I got 2 more battles left. You can see that right below there. I got them highlighted. So yeah, this is actually battle number 14. And I'm up against a freaking Mandibuzz. I didn't think I'd run into a Mandibuzz, even though it is really good in the Open Ultra League and the Ultra Premier alike. And I don't know this matchup with Escavalier. This is actually one of my first times really using Escavalier to begin with. But I'm pretty sure I lose this matchup just based off of these numbers here alone, what I'm seeing on screen. So I'm just like, yeah, I want to preserve my like hard counter Pokemon. So I'm just going to swap the Gyarados and hope things work out. And that's usually how these AB pivot teams type work. You're not winning the lead there. Let's see if it works out for you. Fortunately, they swapped to a Politoed. So things are looking pretty good. Unless, of course, they reach a Blizzard and they land the Blizzard. And I'm not sure how much energy they have. I'm really bad at counting, but I really do want to take this swap here. And so I shield it, and it wasn't Blizzard. So congratulations to me. And then here I throw the Crunch. I don't know if they thought I was getting an Aqua Tail bait-in or something like that. Clearly I wasn't, because I crunched them. So yeah, things did not work out for my buddy Politoed there. And now I'm lined up against a Talonflame. Yeah, I guess they wanted to preserve their Mandibuzz a little bit more. They don't know I have a Lapras in the back. So as long as they can get rid of this like fast move spammy Pokemon there, things could work out for them. Not wanting this Talonflame to get out of control with its damage ramp there, you know, flame charging off of my Gyarados, and I think I was in farm range for them for my Gyarados as well, so not very good. I did not want that to happen. I swap immediately to my Lapras, knowing that Lapras also hard counters the Mandibuzz there, so pretty confident safe swap on my part. Lined up in this matchup, that Lapras does pretty well. Then they swap to their Mandibuzz, trying to catch my Surf right away, so I take the opportunity to get an extra Ice Shard in there so I don't get you know, slapped in the end game by a Flame Charge. And I got yet another Ice Shard in there because Mandibuzz is just that tanky, and I reach the final Surf before they reach their Flame Charge, allowing me to take the battle. And that was battle number 14. Now there's a little bit history behind battle 15 here. I was on the hot streak, feeling really good with my GBL performance, and then the girlfriend, the cursed girlfriend, wanted to go grocery shopping. So I was like, babe, the table's hot. I came back, feeling a little bit weaker, grocery shopping, and we got the end beans here, leading of course with Talonflame, the one lead I don't want to see. So I save swap to my buddy Gyarados, and this opponent actually has a good answer to the safe swap Gyarados. They have the frickin' XLA9. XLA9 is probably one of the best Ultra League Pokemon around right now, so if there's any XL Pokemon to work towards build up for your roster here, A9 is definitely one of them. I know I don't have anything to do in this matchup. I was kind of hoping I could at least reach that second Aqua Tail there before getting taken down, but apparently I didn't. I was just that much off from it, which is also very unfortunate. So yeah, I'm definitely fighting an uphill battle here against this particular team. It's not a good situation for the Swagman. Both have 2 shields. They got Talonflame. I can manage it with Lapras in the 2 shield situation, but it's not great. And they have the swap advantage now. They bring in a counter user, one that's very weak to my Escavalier, no less, to take down the Lapras. So yeah, not a great situation overall. And I don't know this matchup super well, so I'm just sticking it out, hoping I can maybe swing this bus around here. Maybe I can, you know, swap to my Escavalier before I get taken down by the counter damage, and, you know, maybe reach like a drill run, and then I'll have like a Surf ready, maybe. A lot of maybes here. I'm just kind of desperate because I'm on a win streak, and if you have a bigger win streak, that's always a lot cooler than having a smaller one. But yeah, it's over, man. Talonflame. So this is what happens when your opponent leads Talonflame and your Gyarados safe swap doesn't work out. You just kind of lose. And there you have it, guys. This non-XL, non-legendary team kicking some serious butt in the Open Ultra League of Season 8 GBL. Once again, shout out to NoLucksGiven from the GamePress crew for creating this team, recommending it to me, and helping me get these wins. Now I can climb up that much more before we reach the Element Cup, and Ducklet brings me in to Sweet Deliverance. Once again, if you do want some hot Element Cup info, that is coming soon on my channel, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you got any questions on this content here, comment below, let me know what's up, and I'll be happy to help you out. And of course, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more content like this, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. SwagTips. I'd also like to give a shout out to these Patreon supporters. If you want to support Swagman on Patreon, link in the description.